Greetings internet and happy Sunday. I am still in my bedroom, but I've changed where I'm filming because I found out this angle is actually a lot easier to film at than down on my floor, because I don't have to like change any of the lighting or try and sit on pillows to film. So if ever I'm at home and I have to film a video at home, this is where I'll be filming it. Let's sort my hair out. There we go. So, like last week, I am kind of establishing my love of something. And that thing is Disney. I have a lot of people tell me, isn't Disney for kids? No. Big child sat right here in front of you. I think because it's... I can't even go as far as explaining it. I can't. But I'm gonna make a video explaining my love for Disney. Now, from my memory and from every other story my parents have told me, Cinderella was my first massive Disney obsession. I would like wake them up at 4 in the morning asking if we can go and watch the little VHS tape that we used to have of it. And then when the remake came out, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I think Cinderella is one of those films where it's kind of about dreaming. Obviously the main song is a dream, is a wish your heart makes. And I think it's definitely more of like the fairy tale kind of Disney movies. Similarly to like a lot of the princess, like the older princess movies, I feel like they're very, very fairy tale-y. She's a princess, he's the prince kind of thing. Doesn't mean I don't love them any less. But that's just my personal opinion. I think they're very sort of princessy, but that's what I love about them. As much as I like to label myself a feminist, or I like to associate myself with being a feminist. And maybe some of the older Disney films don't really establish that, like especially like the female, like the princesses and stuff. They're kind of portrayed as very like the prince saves the princess and that sort of thing. But I love that. As much as I associate with being a feminist, I still love sitting down and watching those films and watching the princess marry the prince at the end of the film. I just love it. I love it. I love it. I know I say that I love things quite a lot on this channel. I realise this. But it's the truth. It's justified. It's the truth. Then I think kind of The Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast were kind of within that range of films that I used to love watching when I grew up. As a kid, and even now now that I've grown up. I can't talk today. I don't know why. Sorry. So when the live action Beauty and the Beast came out, I think it was at that point, actually no, it was the year before that my mum had sort of toyed with the idea of us going to Disneyland in Florida. And I think from that point onwards, my sort of Disney fan-ness as an adult was really sort of supercharged, because I was like getting myself so ready to go to Disneyland in Florida, Disney World in Florida. I was so like driven, and I was I watched like a lot of the films a lot more again, and I became like even more obsessed. And then I knew the live action Beauty and the Beast was obviously coming out, and when I saw it with my mum and my dad up in the cinema at Leicester Square. I saw it in the IMAX at Leicester Square, and I loved it. I thought it was incredible, and I loved the like little differences that they made to make Belle more of a like more independent, I guess. Like when she's teaching the little girl to read, she's just trying to be more empowering. My trip to Disney World has refueled my sort of love of Disney, and that's why I'm so like obsessed and love it so much more now, because it was refueled. And now that they've got so much new stuff going on, like I know there's sort of like a lot of live action remakes and things going on. The Lion King has just come out, which I've not seen yet. Toy Story 4, which again I've not seen yet. I'm slightly heartbroken that I've not seen it yet. I really, really want to go and see it. And then obviously I went to Disney World and it was amazing. It was so incredible. It was so many sort of dreams being fulfilled. Going to Florida Disney World, there was so many dreams being fulfilled on that trip. It was incredible. It was everything that I wanted it to be. Like, I met characters, I got my ears, I saw the castle. Everything about it was incredible. And a huge part of like my love for Disney World is, and Disneyland in general, and getting comfortable, is meeting characters. I love meeting characters so much, whether they're face characters or non-face characters, I guess the best way of saying it. I have labelled Disney World 2017. And, right, so the first character I met was Pocahontas. She was so cool. She did wink apple when I met her, when we first started the interaction. Then she could obviously tell I was English. We were in Animal Kingdom. It was our first day in the parks and we went to Animal Kingdom. And she said, "Oh, I can see that you've travelled the Great Salt Water." And I was like, "Yes, I came on a plane yesterday." And she was like, "Oh, next time I come and visit John Smith in England, I'll have to come and visit you. Can I bring Miko?" And I said, "Yes, I have cats they might like." Oh, it was such like a childish thing. And it is a childish thing, interacting with characters, but it brings me so much joy. It brings me so much joy. And I think it makes me feel, it makes, like, all of the movies, all of the magic, everything, it brings it to life. It really does bring it to life, and I think that's why I love visiting the parks so much, because everything that I love watching on screen is coming to life around me. And Rapunzel, I met Rapunzel. This was our second day, so this was in Magic Kingdom. I met Rapunzel, and my little cousin loved Rapunzel at the time, like, was absolutely obsessed. So she, like, signed my book again for my little cousin and, like, waved to the camera. And I felt really bad. I was like, I don't want to, like, be using my time to ask you to do other things. Like, I really, like, I said that obviously I promised my little cousin, and like you say, Rapunzel, you never break a promise. She was like, "Yes, I do say that," and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I was crying. It was awesome. She was great. And I met Tiana as well. And the second I met Tiana, she was like, "Oh my god, girl." That's not how she spoke. That's not how she spoke. It's not how she spoke. She was like giving me, I think she gave me like a pasta recipe with like tomato and shrimp. I can't remember what else it was. But she was like, "You need to come down to my restaurant," and this and that and this and that. And everything about it, because I have a really, really deep ingrained love for The Princess and the Frog. I think it's a really, really beautiful film. And that's kind of really come about in the past couple of years since I met Tiana, because she was such a lovely character to meet. It then made me want to go back and watch her film, and then I just kept watching it. I love it. Absolutely love her. Then I met Aladdin and Jasmine, but I met them together, and I was sort of waiting in the queue. I was the first person in the queue because it said on the Disney World app that they were doing a meet and greet, but they weren't out yet. So I asked the staff that were there, like, "Are they coming out? Do I bother waiting?" They were like, yeah, get in the queue. I was the first one to meet them. It was so cool. And I had, I'll get my pins down in a minute. I'll go and get my pins in a minute. But I had my lanyard on, and Aladdin was like looking at while Jasmine was signing my thing. He was like, "Oh my god, you got so many like of my friends on here. You've got Poco, like Pocahontas," and It was so cool. He even stopped Jasmine and was like, Jasmine, you're on here. It was so cool. So that's Aladdin's autograph. And that's Princess Jasmine's autograph. Then I met Ariel in the evening, and I'd stupidly left this in my mum's bag. It was not in my bag. And my mum and my brother had gone off to go on the Dumbo ride. But they'd gone and come back, and I was about to go in. My brother runs in at the front of the queue, and it's gone all the way round, and then where I was about to go in was literally where the entrance to the queue was. So when he ran in, I was so relieved, because it's gorgeous. I know this is backwards, but it's gorgeous. And she was like admiring the portraits on my lanyard. And then, so the next day we went to Epcot, and I was blown away by Epcot. I thought it was incredible. The World Showcase, you can go around to the different countries on the showcase, and they have like characters from films, from Disney films associated with that country, I guess. So I met Belle in France, and I was wearing a t-shirt specifically on that day because I knew that if I was going to meet anyone today, it was going to be Belle, 100%. I think it was my last petal, when the last petal falls, and it's like the stained glass. It's a white t-shirt, but it's got like a black outline stained glass rose and stuff on it. It's really cool. And she was like, oh my gosh, Beast would love that shirt. And just, I know I spoke about last week, like little connections that are made between things, and little things like that made it feel even more magical. Then, so we walked around Epcot for a little while more, and there wasn't really many characters out, I don't think. And I think I checked the app, and Anna and Elsa were doing a meet and greet. So I said to my mum, I know you're not a Frozen fan. I'm a Frozen fan. I do have to say, though, I prefer Tangled over Frozen. I do have to say that. But I'm incredibly excited for Frozen 2. Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. So my mum queued up and met Anna and Elsa with me. She didn't come up with me, but she was standing there happily taking photos and whatnot. So this is Anna's autograph. And there's this really lovely picture of me and Elsa where Elsa's holding my hands, and I just have the biggest smile on my face, and I honestly couldn't have been any happier in that moment. And she was like, so Anna's boyfriend Kristoff is the Royal Ice Master and Deliverer. How would you like to be the Royal Chocolate Master or whatever? And I was like, hell yes. Hell to the yes. And the Frozen ride was so cool. It was so good. I love it. I don't know if I showed you Elsa's, but this is Elsa's. She's awesome. And then obviously I couldn't go to Walt Disney World without meeting Mickey Mouse. I couldn't have met all these characters and then not met Mickey Mouse. So we went to the Epcot character spot. So the queue, I'd booked Fast Pass for this. I was like, there's no way I'm not meeting Mickey Mouse on this trip. No way. But the Fast Pass queue, for some reason the queue was just taking ages. I don't know why. But me and my dad queued up to go in. My brother, who is not a Disney fan, was like done by that point. And so me and my dad were at the front of this queue, and the cast member just sort of started talking to us, and like talking about the magic and the film and the films and everything. But then he sort of went into, I think he asked me like what I was interested in and what I wanted to go into in my future. I was kind of like, well, I'd love to be sort of like a production-y designer or like costume designer or like a backstagey kind of person. Like it's a big dream. It's like what I'm studying and things like that. And then he started talking about, oh, like I love like sort of the producey kind of films, like Saving Mr. Banks, which is the whole backstory to how Disney got the rights to Mary Poppins and creating that Mary Poppins, and like how P.L. Travers had to travel to LA or California, to obviously discuss the rights and help produce the film. And he went so deeply into it, and I was like, we're like kindred spirits here. We are fully have a connection talking about all of this. I agree with everything you're saying. You are awesome. And I think we literally stood there listening to this guy talk for about 10 minutes. And it was so, as a Disney fan, it was so empowering. Like, he was great. And then he was like, oh yeah, you guys can go in and meet the characters now, and I hope we've kind of like kept you entertained. I was like, mate, you're amazing. Like, you're great. You're so, like, everything that he was saying, was just sort of, I was kind of blown away by the fact they sort of took the time to actually speak to us about stuff like that, even though, like, because we were waiting quite a long time. So, but anyway, I have Mickey Mouse's autograph. I have Goofy's autograph. And I have Minnie Mouse's autograph, because she's great too. And it was, yeah, she was really, really cool. My reaction to finding out I was going to Disneyland Paris for New Year 2018-19 was hysterical. It was Christmas Day, and my mum, after Christmas dinner, my mum came down and had 2 last presents for me and my brother. We had to open them at the same time. One of the rides at Disneyland Paris is Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Blast, and that's his favourite ride, shooting all of the things and going through Toy Story and things like that. So he got a little blaster gun with like some shampoo and stuff with it. But I didn't realise he'd finished opening his, so I was like, have you opened it? It was like, yes. I opened mine, and I had my 2019 Minnie Mouse ears. I think I cried solidly for about 10 minutes. Like, proper ugly, hysterical crying. I was so happy and excited. I couldn't believe it. And, so that was a really big thing for me. I know this sounds silly, but it was such a big thing for me, and I absolutely loved it. And then I ended up going to Disneyland Paris again this year. I know it was only for a day, but then New Year's Eve it was only for a night. But going with Neve was great, and I met Pluto, as you know from the vlog, and obviously Captain Marvel. I just love Disney so much. It's so sort of like ingrained into me now that I don't think I could watch a Disney film and hate it. I've kind of just gone on about how much I love Disney World rather than Disney in general. I think I kind of want to do a video about the Disney films and kind of like the ethical and cultural and like social things within those films. I think that's gonna have to be a separate video now. But yeah, I think I've established my love of Disney pretty strongly. I'm going to end this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked last week's vlog as well with my friend Harriet. I had such a great day. This week's vlog, I moved into my new flat today. I'm filming this on Saturday because I forgot that I hadn't filmed a video. So I've moved in, and I haven't properly unpacked everything. I've just sort of moved it all from one place to the other. Yeah, it was kind of sad to leave my old room today, but at the same time, I was bringing all my stuff to a new place and that I can't wait to live in. I'm so excited. But I think that's it for today. I will see you on Wednesday. And that was that.